What's going on to you? How y'all doing? So you actually have the Four of Wands, the Devil, and then you also have the Knight of Cups. So the Devil card is your opposite zodiac sign, Capricorn, right? Capricorni, as they say in Japan. Um, so there's a sense of you basically not gonna allow the devil into your home, right? You're not gonna be, like I said, like you're not gonna be in a relationship with someone whom you let in, and then you come to find out they are the devil. Basically, they're not someone that you're supposed to trust, and it's not even about over trusting. It's about you can't trust them at all with who you are and where you are and anything. They are a person that will betray your trust and use your trust to their empowerment. And so now you have the Knight of Cups. You understand that this is what this person essentially was doing, and it's not even just about this particular person. This is more so about whenever the situation comes up. You do not trust anyone who would do that. So it's this sense of you pretty much, that's a very good boundary, right? If you cannot trust the person, you're not going to be in a relationship with them. And that no matter how long the relationship ends up being, if you find out that you can't trust them anymore, you'll basically leave them alone, right? You'll excommunicate from them, right? So whatever that means for you, you will separate from them because you can't trust people whom are not meant to be trusted. And so, there's this emotional processing that a lot of you are going through that's powerful because you're defining yourself, you're understanding yourself, and y'all zodiac sign in Egypt is the self-creating one, or the self-defining one. So is that art imitating life or life imitating art, or both? I'd say they're imitating one another. And so the situation with that next is you have the Justice and the Knight of Swords. So these two cards right here for you really represent this being a situation where you are establishing peace and order in your life. Because justice doesn't just represent peace, it represents order as well, right? You being in control of your life, and therefore you having say so over your life and what you got going on, right? Determination, right? Capricorn, which is your opposite sign, rules determination. So you can see how you're pulling from that opposite polarity. And so with that being said, this is a situation for you where, for you Capricorns, this is more so about how y'all are in a place where, sorry, for you Capricorns, y'all, this is more so about how y'all are in a place where you are establishing that order in your life. And that if a person cannot respect that order and even find a way to basically be a part of that, then it is what it is. Because ultimately, when it comes to relationships, a person legitimately has to find a way of how they're going to fit into your life, whatever your lifestyle is. This is why it is that I say that having things in common with another person makes it easier, because if you, I don't know, if you went to golf and you like golf and they golfed also, and they did it legitimately. I'm not just talking about like a lie people use to be a chameleon, right? On either side. I'm talking about for real. Y'all can get into each other's lives using golf. You can use that as an instrument to stay connected with one another. You can literally bond over golfing, get to know each other, ask each other questions, get to know each other while y'all play golf, things like that. And so the situation for you is that, a lot of, you're not trying to make it to where you're forcing it. A lot of you are not going to try to make it to where, and you haven't for a while. Let me just go ahead and say that as well. But you're not going to try to force it. If you don't get along with a person, then you just don't get along with them. And then it is what it is. And so now you Capricorns also have, now y'all also have, the Empress. So you have the Empress, and then you also have the Justice. So this transformation that a lot of you are going through is a beautiful transformation, right? The planet Venus is present as well, right? And so Venus is planet of beauty, that and the sun, planet of beauty. And so there's this sense of, you're very beautiful. Your transformation is beautiful of how you're making it. To other people, it may not be beautiful. Yeah, of course it's not going to be beautiful because they can't weasel in. They can't wiggle in. There's no quarter. There's no quarter of an inch um, of leniency with them. So they can't weasel their way in. They can't make up excuses as to why they can be not very good being in a relationship with you, and then can continue to come up with the excuse of, oh well, throwing projections out there, and it's like that ain't even true. And so the Empress here represents, once again, right? So this level of distinction, this level of discernment, this wisdom that a lot of you have, once again, like, you're using it. And again, it's making you happy because most people go through their entire life and they don't like certain things, but those are not really boundaries. They don't like it, but they will continue to allow certain things to happen. They will not tell the person to stop doing that. They will not create a boundary. They will not leave the person alone. Sometimes, and not only that too, but you also have to have the wisdom of which one to use given the situation, because not every situation requires the same thing. Circumstances change. Sometimes you'll have to verbalize certain things. Sometimes you'll have to be like, you know what? This person is so caught up with their dysfunction. Let me leave this person alone. This goes right back into why it is that I was saying about the hand in hand thing, about the ghosting. Just quietly just getting up on out of there, because some people are so like dysfunctional. You can't tell them anything. As I was talking about, you can't tell them, hey, this bothered me, do you mind not doing that? And then them going into that, they'll be like, oh, get out of here with all that, and try to enforce that and try to apply even more pressure onto a boundary that you said to not go past, to not cross. This is the line in the sand. Do not cross this line. And they'll still do it anyway. Oh, I don't want, whatever. So sometimes those type of people, what do you do with those type of people? There's nothing you can do, because everything is going to be a wrestling match. What do you do with those type of people? You just leave them alone. You're just like, okay. Since you want to be like that, okay, fine. We ain't got to talk. We ain't got to, you know what I'm saying, chit chat. And so what's happening here is that you feel proud because, like I said, some people go through their entire lives, don't know what a boundary is. And they may know what a boundary is because they may not like certain things to be done, but they won't address it. They won't leave the person alone. They won't address it. And so now you have the Queen of Wands and the Nine of Swords here. You're going to have some people who are going to try you. You probably have had some people try you recently, for some of you, and it didn't work. My love. That's my dog out there. My dog already gone. Anyway, so you have the Eight of Wands and the Three of Wands for you. And dog's excited about something. I'll go out there. And so the Eight of Wands and the Three of Wands here for you represents this being a situation where the Eight of Wands really is about like, so you can't be with those type of people because, and I want y'all to know, like, you're doing the right thing. The Three of Wands, right? You have a better future. I want y'all to really understand, you're doing the right thing. I'm telling y'all from personal experience, you're doing the right thing. You are, because People are naturally not going to like you for standing up anyway and having boundaries and having self-respect. Again, I'm giving y'all a game. The whole world right now, in a general sense, is based upon not having self-respect. Your, your ability to be liked is based upon you not having self-respect. The less self-respecting you are, and I'm not talking about have so much self-respect to the point where that becomes a delusion. That's not what I'm referring to, because then that's not even real self-respect anyway. What I'm talking about is that a lot of people don't like me based upon the fact that I have self-respect, right? I don't, I let people know what type of time it is. I want to be taken seriously for this stuff because I know for a fact this stuff really does help people. So if a person is willing to spend money to goof on me and crack jokes and all this other type of stuff, it's like, all right, you're down how much? That could have been money that you could have spent being put towards something that empowers you. But instead you want to crack jokes and joke, and all right, be a jokester if that's the case, really. And that's the case. But the first time, okay, I may put up with it. But even with the money that you may offer me, I may still reject it and be like, no, I don't want your money. You're not welcome here. You crossed the boundary or you crossed the line. I don't want you around, right? And so the conduciveness of how you get accepted into this world is the world accepts people who doesn't have respect, who doesn't have self-respect. When you have self-respect, when you don't allow come on now, do you know how many people don't like me? And I don't care if they don't like me. And this is what I mean when I was saying to you about how you have to be okay with being the adversary. You have to be okay with being the villain in somebody else's story that they're making up in their head. You have to be okay with that. You have to come to a certain acceptance of that to a certain extent, due to the fact that, because people are going to try as best as they can to make you into that, even to the point of dysfunctionality and delusion to make you into that. So when you are okay with that and you allow a person to not like you because you have self-respect, it's like, of course you're going to have self-respect. Why wouldn't you? Let's clarify the Three of Wands. Telling you, I've had people, real talk, I've had people who come to the channel and they want to get a reading from me privately, and they think just because they gave me money that they're going to start being disrespectful. Guess what it is that I did? I refunded them the money. Keep it. Your money is no good here. I don't want it because you're a jerk. And again, like, what are you doing? People will never tell you about the times that I refunded individuals. Show you a class act. I refunded individuals. I said, no, I'm cool. Empress, Eight of Wands, Ace of Cups, Wheel of Fortune, Ten of Pentacles, to clarify the Three of Wands. So again, right, the Empress, Eight of Wands, Ace of Cups, right, the self-respect. You've grown in self-respect. You've defined your self-respect. You've refined it. You've defined it. You've become more distinctive. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you stand out more due to the self-respect that you have. And it's not like a delusional kind of self-respect, right? It's you stand out because you actually have like a code that you live by. And so, they ain't gonna like you, but that's okay. You know why? Because you like you. And then you have the Wheel of Fortune and the and the Ten of Pentacles. The Wheel of Fortune here is y'all zodiac sign, and it represents you have a good head on your shoulders. right? You learn from your mistakes. What I'm trying to say is, you know what you're doing. You know your own direction. You're not lost at sea. You're on land, and you know where it is that you're going. And so you're on solid footing. You're on solid grounding. The Ten of Pentacles is evidence of that, and it represents how that's the reason why you can afford to feed other people too, if you wanted to, or you may already be doing it. So that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Trying to get the YouTube channel to 100K. We're at 29,217. Smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, hit that notification bell, set that notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop my videos. If y'all want to come through and get a personal reading, the link to that is in the comment section below. Call the link.